He's big, he's slick, he's got a magic stick. Dessa scored, Dessa scored. What a difference in this Rangers team already, and Philippe Clement's been in the door little under a week, or a week if it even is that. Right from the get-go you could see that Rangers had showed up to play more direct today, to play with more intensity, to look to get at Hibs and not let Hibs get back settled, comfortable in their defensive position. Rangers were intended to go at Hibs, to go for the jugular immediately and always, persistently throughout this 90 minutes. I made a comment on Twitter at half time noting that how we didn't just start well, but that we managed to keep it up for a whole 45 minutes, and that of course was at half time. Little did I know that this team were also capable of coming out in the second half and producing much of the same intensity that is required to dispatch of teams in this league. To come out in the second half and put on a show, to bring direct, positive, dominating football back to Ibrox where it belongs, to get the fans on the edge of their seats, to get the fans smiling, to get the fans behind their players. This is what we've been missing at Rangers under Michael Beale, and today has laid that out before us plainly and clearly. It was evident that Michael Beale has been the problem within this Rangers side. Philippe Clement didn't come in and get 16 new players to choose from. No, instead what is clear that since Philippe Clement's time in the door, he's made it clear to this team, this is how we're going to play. We're going to defend by attacking. We're going to have intensity when we're on the ball, and the players who are off the ball when we're in possession of it. We're going to press teams high up the park and be relentless and trying to win the ball back, rather than just being tame and timid and weak and sitting back into a defensive position in the hopes that the opposition lose it. Can you tell, troops? Can you tell that I'm excited? I'm excited to see that these players are actually not as incapable as we once thought. Aye, it's only one game, but that team that I watched in the park today appeared to be the complete and polar opposite of the team that I've been used to watching over the last number of weeks. There is not one man on the park who pulled that jersey on today, whether that was someone who was part of the starting 11 or someone who came on off of the bench. There's not one person in that team that I could personally criticise. Each and every one of those players get pass marks. Not only did they get pass marks, but there were some exceptional and outstanding performances from some individuals today. But more importantly than that is something that we've been harping on about on the podcast and the reaction videos for a number of weeks. But this Rangers team today, who dispatched Hibs 4-0, looked like a collective unit. They looked like they were playing for each other and playing together. There was some free-flowing football, there was some hunting in packs when we lost the ball. And for me as a fan, and for yous as fans, this is what we've been asking for. Our questions have been answered today. Within the first 5 minutes, we could see that there wasn't going to be this shitty lateral passing, is how Clement referred to it during the week in one of his press conferences. Even when Goldson and Suter got on the ball, it wasn't until like the 93rd minute where they were just sort of knocking it amongst themselves. But that was fine. The game was well and truly won by that moment, and they'd already expended as much energy in the game as we would expect as fans. But aye, for the first 5 minutes we could see that there wasn't going to be this pure laboured build-up that has been driving me quite frankly daft for the last number of weeks. It was going to be, you could see it, Suter would get on the ball. If there wasn't an immediate out ball, he always knew that Tavernier or Barisic or Ridvan would be there sort of in the deeper, wider areas to play that wee lobbed diagonal pass to cut out 2 or 3 of Hibs' men immediately and to get us straight on the attack down each of the flanks. But it wasn't predictable. It wasn't what we're used to seeing Rangers do, where it's side to side endlessly until Barisic or Tavernier got into some space to whip a ball in the box. No, Rangers played a lot of their football today well within Hibs' final third, and this is what I was talking about earlier on in the season, because everybody's been crying out for width, and width, we got that today. Special shout out to the big man Sima, who is absolutely flying. This man has honestly looked unstoppable the last couple of games, and he's been the one saving grace around that carnage and that garbage that we were seeing prior to the international break. But I don't know, let me know if you agree. The fact that Clement's come in the door, changed the style, forced us to be direct, I would say each and every one of the players look better because of it. And it might demand more for you for an energetic, for an effort point of view, but you put in the effort, you put in the work rate off and on the ball, then these are the results that you'll expect to get at the end of it. But I'm just going to take out a couple of players who I thought today looked like completely different versions of themselves. Let's take Tavernier. We know Tavernier on the back foot and defensively is simply not the greatest defender in the world. But what we do know that he's capable of going forward, and he's also capable of defending with this intensity that gets at the opposition, where it doesn't let them control the ball and come onto them. And we've seen it numerous times today with Tavernier, who managed to get in front of a Hibs player, intercept and immediately start a Rangers counter-attack. Nicholas Raskin. Here's another one. What a difference in that young man today. I mean, the work rate on and off the ball, what we came to expect at the end of last year, when I was saying he was looking like he could just sweep up everything in that midfield. Like, he was so great at just nullifying the opposition's transitions and at picking up the ball in key areas of the pitch and then immediately starting us in the counter-attack. And Raskin looked more like that player that I'd come to expect today. He even got himself a goal, and then we had a wee bit of time where we thought VAR was going to get involved for what seemed like there was a Rangers foul in the build-up, no a foul to any of the Hibs players. But I'm happy that Raskin's managed to get his goal, managed to grab himself a sponsors man of the match as well, completely deserved, and we can see with the likes of that performance today how much potential Nico Raskin actually has. And then we've got Seema, we've got Suter, we've got goals. There's not one man in the park who I can sit here and say I think they should have been better. I, of course, will get better out of them throughout the coming weeks. I think that is inevitable. But for this, for our first glimpse into what Rangers might look like under a half-decent manager, to say I'm happy about that is a complete understatement and a quite miraculous turn of events. Here I was, enjoying watching Rangers for a whole 90 minutes. I didn't feel bored, I didn't feel frustrated, I didn't feel like I wanted to just tune out. I was involved, but that comes for the players in the park also feeling involved, looking like they want to win the ball back because they want to be aggressive and intense and score goals. They want to dominate in worthwhile areas of the pitch, not just passing it amongst themselves in our final third. So for me, this is a sign of things to come at Rangers. And by goodness, I'll be glad to see the end of this sort of laboured and mundane bullshit that we've been subjected to over the last number of months. I'm happy for Clement, I'm happy for the players to relieve some of that pressure that's clearly been building up, but it's amazing to see what these players can actually do if they're instructed in the right manner, if the energy and intensity is demanded of them from the manager, if they're instructed to play in a certain way. It's good to see and it's happy days. Let me know what you thought of today's performance in the comments below, and don't forget that we're now offering BlueSea memberships. If you've been enjoying the content that we're bringing you and feel inclined to join the channel, the memberships are set at $3.99, but more importantly, continue to keep coming back here to watch the videos, subscribe if you don't want to miss out, and also don't forget to leave your comments and let us know what you think, because we always know that there's various different perspectives out there, but I'm pretty sure the major consensus between and amongst us as fans today is that was enjoyable, this is a new start, and come on Big Phil!